Welcome back to the Deeper 2025 podcast. I'm excited you're with us today, and we are in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 today. I want to read for you 1 Corinthians 15:57. It says, "But thanks be to God who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ." You know, as I think about this verse in 1 Corinthians 15, I think about the fact that life feels like a battle at times. It feels like a war, and it is a war in a sense, in a spiritual sense, but even in the physical and emotional side, it feels like a battle. We're battling against temptation, we're battling against discouragement and loneliness and sin, and even situations we find ourselves in with death and sickness and all of these things that we struggle with. But I love this verse because at the end of that chapter, 1 Corinthians 15, Paul lets us know that God gives victory, and he gives victory through Jesus. He gives victory. Why? Because he's able to give victory because he died on the cross. He came back to life. And that's not just a historical fact. That's a reality that we live in that secures not only our future, but it secures our present. And so we can know for sure that Jesus has our best interests at heart, that he has had the victory, that he's already defeated death, he's defeated sin, and we have a person, a friend that's with us, walking with us through the battle of life. And I'm not sure if you feel this way, but there are times when I feel like life is just a battle. I mean, it's just really difficult sometimes just to get through. And man, will I ever get to the end of this battle? Will I ever get through the end of this struggle? Will I ever have victory in this struggle? And Paul lets us know at the end of 1 Corinthians 15, yes, you can have victory. And that victory comes through Jesus. And thanks be to God the Father for that. So I guess my question for you today is, are you living like someone who's already won the battle? There's a good Shane and Shane song about that. You've already won. You should look it up on YouTube. I'm not sure if that's the name of it, but that's the thing that popped in my head right now. And it's a great song, and it talks about the fact that Jesus has already won the battle. He's already won the war. And though we have these little skirmishes in our life, so are you living like someone who's already won? And really, this comes down to how you live and how you're trying to please God. Are you trying to please God and trying to win the battle so that you can gain God's approval, or are you trying to win the battle because you know that the victory's already been won, and you're resting in the fact that Jesus gave us victory, and now you're just living a life of gratitude and thankfulness to God for what he's done and what Jesus has done for us? That's how I want to live my life. I want to live my life in such a way that I know that these difficulties come, but I know that the war has already been won. I've read the end of the book. I know that Jesus wins. And so I can live with gratitude and thankfulness. And so today, as you struggle through life, whatever struggle that may be, know that Jesus has already secured the victory. Know that there is coming a day where there will be no more pain, no more tears, no more suffering. None of those things will exist because you're in eternity with God in heaven because Jesus has secured the victory. And if you'll see that outlook, if you'll have that outlook on life as you walk through those difficulties, then it just makes you have a whole different perspective, and it makes it so much easier to bear the pain and suffering that we find in this world.